Model 885 from the Idaho Youth Ranch. Excuse the room, it's a bit messy. We're just still setting up this room. But besides that point, I don't know what was in this bag, but my fingers are itching, so probably vacuumed up fiberglass or something. But we're going to get to cleaning this off, so I'll get to that bit right now, and I'll show you the rest of the cleanup on this machine. Bags out. When you clean them out too, you really got to make sure you turn it fully inside out, because around here is where a lot of the good stuff likes to accumulate. So it's good. We got the bag inside the washing machine using very light of amount of detergent. And then we're going to get to the service of the vacuum itself. So you can see I have it on delicates right now. I also have it on deep fill. That way it makes it easier on the bag. Some of the lettering is already faded on it, so I'm gonna make sure that when we do this, this should at least preserve a bit of the lettering, but you know, more of it can go away. That's why I have it on no spin as well. So bag that's gonna be going in it, it's just generic Eureka F&G, but it should work for the Royal, considering Royal A bags are a variation of. Here's a look at the vacuum itself. We're gonna tip it over. We're gonna take it apart and just kind of clean it out, polish it up, make sure it's all nice and neat. So, here's the brush roll. As you can see, it's seen better days. Now, I wish I had a new belt on hand, but the belt in it is all right, but it isn't the best. So, we'll just reuse that belt, and then I'll buy more. After I clean up the brush roll, get all this stuff cleaned out, and yeah. How did they let it get this far? But it's good for me, because this has kind of preserved the brush roll in a way. So, I'm going to get all this crap off of here, tear into the rest of this, lube all the mechanisms. I'm going to make sure it works great. Or I'll polish that last. I went through the whole machine, except for the motor, which is kind of the most important part, but also realistically I should have got some gasketing material and put it around the fan casing since the old one was flaking apart. We already got the bag through the washer. It's now dry. We're going to reattach it. And I have so many of these belt lifters, so this will just go right inside the bag. And we'll put this on a HEPA bag for it and run it across the carpet. Got it all back together. This is a machine that I'm very fond of. I only got this because it was so clean and it came with the hose and a couple extra bags. So it even has the infinite height adjustment, which I freshly greased. So we're gonna plug it in, give it a run. The roller was absolutely covered in hair. There's still some hair on it, but once I start running it, it will pretty much all go away. So I ran it a little bit before I turned it on, and the brush roll, well, makes a bit of noise. I greased the brush roll bearings, but I'm starting to think it's the grease that I'm using. It's just not the best grease, or it's not the right kind. So let's show you what it sounds like. Let's see if I can't try to fix that, actually. So we figured out the issue, and we had to do some metal work and fine-tune the sole plate for it. You know, when I had this issue with my 9th, or what was it again? I honestly forget what model it was, but it was the black one, and it had the same issue until a person, I forget his name, told me that, well, try making sure the plate has a seal. On that one, I put Flex Seal around the plate, but seeing as this didn't have any rubber coating around it, it had to be something with the plate, or the plate was out of whack. So I tuned the plate, And as you can see, there are the tools there I used to do it. And the WD-40 really was just to grease the brush roll, because I thought for some reason, because it just sounds like a brush roll issue, but it is not. So that is good. This is a spare belt lifter that will be going in the bag compartment. It's running a HEPA F&G. So we tuned the plate, and this is what it sounds like. Sounds so much better. So I've always wanted one of these 6-amp Royals, and now I finally have wound up with one. Been running out of space for vacuums, obviously, but I saw this and I just had to get it. So we got it. It's running now. It sounds great. And then with somewhere down the line, I will open up the motor and do it. And the greatest part about this thing is this thing will run forever, because this thing right here has something that most vacuums don't, because they want you to keep buying, coming back and buying their shit, which is this right here is a grease port to where you can put in some oil for the rear bearing. No other vacuum has that except for this vacuum, maybe some others, but Royal is the only one that I know that has done it. So anyway, it needs a new belt, but the belt in it suffices for right now. So without further ado, we'll just give it a run around the living room, and yeah. Sounds so much better. Oh, so much better. It smells great because of the bag that was in the washer. Makes the room smell really nice. And let's run it into the other room real quick and have it clean up its mess from pretty much fixing this thing up. Whoa. course, it propels itself in its traditional royal fashion. So, side note, if you guys are fixing up Royals or you're new to fixing up Royals like me, please note that if it makes a terrible sound like it was making in the beginning when I first ran it, it's most likely the plate. All you have to do is bend the tabs more and kind of tune it as needed, so that way it stays tight onto the bell housing nozzle and it locks on. I'm sure over time that'll loosen up and it will sound like crap again. So just keep tuning it as you need to do it, and it should sound good as new like this machine does. So now, I like the 6 amp ones because they're so much more quiet and they don't have that carpet shredding power that the other ones have. The other ones are just absolutely ridiculous. And the commercial 10 amp ones, don't even get me started. Those things I'd actually consider scary. And there is the Royal Heavy Duty 885. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. And I'm probably going to run this thing around the house a little more, to be honest, because this thing is really nice, I must say. I've waited for the perfect opportunity to come across a 6 amp Royal, and I finally have found one. So now that I have one, it feels good to have one. And besides the logoing being a bit tattered on the side, it's like, you know, what can you do? It's old, but it looks a lot better, especially after I went through it and polished it, cleaned it all up. Works great.